questions and answers with a single mom selling feet pics online.
Hey, mamas. Today, I am going to be doing a Q&A. So I allow my followers, friends, family, everyone the opportunity to ask me anything they wanted to know. Um, just to tell you a little bit about myself, I'm 34 years old. I'm a single mom, and I do have a full-time 9 to 5 corporate type job, but I have a side hustle where I make money selling pictures of my feet online. And it's not just really pictures, it's pictures and videos. Um, and sometimes it's more than just feet. Like, I'm going to be honest. A lot of people probably think that's controversial. They don't understand it. Some people want to do it, they want to know more about it. So I just opened up for everyone to be able to come in and ask me whatever it is that they wanted to know about how me selling feet content online affects my personal life, my financial life, my love life, my family life, just every single aspect of my life. I opened the floor for questions, and so I have some questions, and it's time for me to give answers. So, the questions that I'm going to start with are from Instagram. Is Foot Finders a good site to sell, and do you sell used items? I have never used Foot Finders before. I think it's called Feet Finders. I've never used it before. I honestly have never heard anything good about that website. I've heard that it's slow, it's hard to make money on there. I've heard there's lots of scammers on there, but me personally, I could not give you my own experience because I have never, in all the 5 years that I've been doing this, I've never used that website before. Do I sell used items? I've sold some of my slippers for like $100 plus shipping. So yes, I do sell used items. One time I sold some stockings, and I will sell if I have something that a customer sees me wearing, or they want to buy me something and they want me to wear it, I will wear it and I will send it to them worn and used. I do have a price list for that. So yes, I do sell used items. I don't know if this is appropriate. I hope I don't get in trouble for this question, but they asked, do I enjoy getting my toes sucked, basically? The answer to that question is, if the right person is doing it. I like it done a certain kind of way, and everybody doesn't do it the same way. So if you do it the way that I like it, yes, I definitely enjoy it, but that's the only way that I can get into it. Where can I buy the foot clips? You gotta find me on my foot pages. I honestly don't want to mix my feet pages with these pages. I don't want to talk about what my handles are. I do give my handles to the ladies who subscribe to my Instagram or Facebook, so that they can just get an idea of what kind of content to post, how they should pose in pictures. Like, I let them follow me, but I don't ever, y'all will never hear me really talking about my foot pages, my handles for those pages, because I don't want to intermix the two. This page is just for the women, it's for educational purposes and knowledge. I do not want an overflux of men here trying to buy content. So I'm sorry, I'm not answering that question in this video. What apps do you use to sell the pictures? This is a male, and I assume that you want to know so you can buy as well. So please refer to the answer to my last question. How can you be discreet from family and friends? This is a good question. Basically, you want to create totally different accounts. Like, and you don't want your phone number to be associated with these accounts, because that's how you're suggested to people, like in your contacts, like people you may know come up on your social media, because y'all, like, they have your phone number and your phone number's on your profile, so that's how friends and family can find you that way. Even if you're just around them, I feel like when I'm around my friends and family, they probably can see me on their suggested explore, whatever, I don't know. Even if they don't have my business number, I just feel like the technology is so crazy and it just picks up on it. So I would suggest, I have a whole separate phone. I have a personal phone and I have a business phone. So I use different numbers, a whole different phone. And when I'm around someone who I don't want to have access to finding my foot pages, I leave that phone away. I don't even have it in the Bluetooth vicinity. I don't want it to connect in no type of way. You can set up restrictions on your page, and I talk about this in my ebook, so you'll probably have to purchase that to get more information. But in the section that talks about like safety and remaining anonymous, I talk exactly about how you can, keep it discreet and not be seen by people you don't want to be seen by. Like I talk about this in my ebook, and you can click the link in my bio to go ahead and purchase that. Do you ever show your face in your feed content? Absolutely, I do. I show more than my face if we being honest. Yes, I do. You don't have to do what I do to be successful. I know girls who have never once in all their entire career shown their face and they make lots of money. Now, you do have to be consistent. You do have to work hard for a long time, but you can definitely be successful and never show your face not one time if that's something that you do not want to do. So, in your ebook, do you say what sites you use and how to get started with selling feed pics? Yes, I do. I talk about 5 sites in my ebook. All of them I have used. I have a platform on it. I talk about them um, in my ebook on. I actually talk about more sites than 5 because I talk about the social media sites that I use and the paid sites. So it's 5 paid sites and my social media sites. I talk about how I get started, how I got started with doing this, and how you can get started. I talk about the names of the sites, what the site is, like what it is. I definitely talk about sites in my ebook, yes. And stay tuned because y'all have been asking me that question so much that I've literally outlined a new ebook that talks about all the sites I post on, exactly how I post. Like I'm giving y'all an ebook for the sites specifically because everybody has been asking me that. So many questions. Every time I open my DMs or read comments, it's what sites do you use? What sites do you use? What sites do you use? And I do talk about the sites that I use in my ebook that I already have, but it's so much other stuff in there that I could not fit in there exactly how I post or what I'm doing on these sites. So I'm actually in the works right now writing a whole new ebook with all the sites that I use, how I post on those sites, my strategies, just everything that I use for the sites. Y'all finna get that. What was the weirdest request you've ever gotten? Y'all, I'm not allowed to talk about the weirdest request that I've ever gotten just because you are not like terms and conditions, violations. I don't like, I'm shadow banned on Facebook right now because they trying to say like my post goes against community guidelines. So this topic that I be touching on is so sensitive. I have to be careful how I say what I say. So I'll probably get with you directly to tell you the weirdest request that I've got. But just to keep it so that I'm not violating any rules, I'll talk about a female domination request that I got where I got paid a good amount of money to just meet someone in public and spit on them. Just sit there, spit on them, degrading them, being very, 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 very mean to them. We were in public, cars were driving by. Um, yeah, yeah. And he wanted me to do that. He paid me a good amount of money to do that. So that I wouldn't say it is even the weirdest request. I don't feel like any of the requests are weird. I don't want to say that they're weird because I don't like to. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this, but I don't like to shame anybody for their preferences, basically, is what I want to say. I don't shame anyone for what they like. I don't like, ew, you want to buy pictures of my feet. That's weird. Like, that is something that you want to stray away from. You want to be very open minded. You want to be not judgmental. You don't want to judge them. So I wouldn't even call the request weird, but that's the most like crazy request, like extreme, like outside of the normal. Just send me a picture or video of your feet request that I've done, and I did that in person. Okay, so let's go to this. Those That's it for the Instagram questions. A friend that I hold very near and dear to my heart. So I'm gonna answer her questions. She asked a lot of questions. Her first questions is, what advice would you give your younger self? Keep pushing. It's all gonna pay off. Like, and don't be embarrassed of your mistakes. Don't be embarrassed of what you're going through because it's literally gonna turn you into a better you. Like all the hard stuff that you're going through right now, it's all gonna make sense in the future. And you're not even going to believe like how everything played out and how you turned out because of how everything played out. Because I never would have guessed in a million years that I would be in the position that I'm in today, to take care of my kids as a single mom, to hold stuff down in my household, paying all my bills by myself. My kids are in extracurricular activities. They are thriving. They are smart. We go out to eat. We go buy stuff. Like, we have the life that I prayed for. I remember when I used to work 40-hour weeks and have to pay my bills, and I had barely enough to pay all the bills and definitely didn't have anything left over after I got paid. So now it's just like I'm comfortable. I can pay my bills. I have money saved. Like, I would tell myself it's all going to work out in the end. Like, it's literally all going to work out. I can't believe it all worked out. Is there anything you had to sacrifice on your journey while selling content? I had to sacrifice, how can I put this? I had to sacrifice, I don't feel like there's anything that I sacrificed that I regret losing. On my journey selling content, I had to sacrifice, basically let go of caring about what people think about me. That's something I had to sacrifice. I had to let go of caring about what other people think about me and what I'm doing. I've had to sacrifice people that I kind of like held near and dear to my heart, and then I realized that when they saw like what I was doing, it affected them in a way that made them look at me different. So some people, I mean, like, no one of huge significance where my life is just altered from them not being in it, but I have lost friends because of this. I guess I've sacrificed, and I'm just being honest and I'm just being transparent. You know, my kids could be impacted by what I'm doing. So I sacrificed the privacy of, my kids not seeing me in a light like that, I guess, if they were to see my content online. I don't feel like they've ever seen it. I don't know if they've never told me they've seen it. They've never, you know, been dramatically impacted to the point where it's hurt them in any kind of way. And I'm not saying that would never happen, but I've sacrificed that. Because a lot of women as mothers, we don't want our kids to see us in a certain light, and that's something that I sacrificed by becoming a NSFW content creator. That's it. Outside of that, I don't feel like I've sacrificed anything else. No. What is your long term goal? Long term, I don't think I'll ever stop selling feed content online. I would like to one day just make so much money like off of the content that I post videos every day, not every day, about 3 times a week I post new videos, and I want to one day not have to post any more new videos and I'm still making money off those videos that I'm posting now. I want to be financially free. Like, some goals that I've made I've already met. Like, I wanted to save up a certain amount of money. I wanted to be able to pay all my bills and not stress, which I do. I wanted my kids to be able to be more active. They weren't always in activities, and I couldn't always afford that. That was a long term goal that I wanted. They're doing that now. I just want long term to be able to get my kids whatever they want, whatever they need. I want to be like able to do, like, my daughter's turning 16 this year. I want to throw her a big sweet 16 birthday party and not have to break the bank to do it, and not have to be like pity pension or like she can't have this because I can't afford it. And I just want that to be my life. I want to be able to provide for my kids stress free. Like, I just want to be able to take care of them. Some of the decisions that I've made in the past wound up making me a single mom, and that's my fault. So I feel like it's my job to compensate where I disadvantaged my kids at. And that's my long term goal, is to make sure, even though they only have really one truly active parent, because their dads are not dead. They're just not as active as they should be, as they could be, and I'm just overly active, and I just want them to always have someone that can do it for them, that's willing to do it for them, that's going to show up to every single recital, football game, that's gonna pay the fees when they need it, that's gonna pay for them to go to prom or homecoming or have that big birthday party celebration that they want. I want to be able to do that for my kids, stress free, without worrying like how is all the other stuff going to get done. I want them to be able to have knowledge in the future on how to build their own businesses and become independent and successful. And I'm learning that. So I'm able to teach my kids a lot. And that was a long term goal to be able to teach them so that they can, you know, once she's grown and old enough to make her decisions, I'll never judge her for any decisions that she makes. But I tell myself all the time that I do this so she doesn't have to. You know, like I do this so my son don't have to be out in the streets and figuring out a way to take care of his family or himself or you know, I do the ugly and the hard stuff so that my kids can remain free from that and I'll take all the judgment and I'll take whatever I have to take as far as explaining to them. If somebody's picking on them at school about it, I take all that and I'm going to take it and I'm going to be honest and I'm going to be truthful and I'm going to work with them through things because, you know, I made these decisions and I'm standing by them. I'm standing by my decisions. My path is not traditional. Everybody may not agree, but honestly, I'm doing what I have to do to make sure that my kids have what they need in life and I don't feel bad about it. Is selling foot content a long term source of income? It can be. Like I said, I post all the time now so that in the future when I'm too old and I can't post, like I could still be making money off that because I know for a fact that, you know, I see today videos from 10 and 20 years ago still being purchased. I see mature women who are been in the doing this 20 plus years, they're done. They're chilling. They have money, they're put up, married, like living great. That it can be a long-term goal. It's residual income. So like you can work hard now and chill later and still make money off of it. Yes. I will never take my content. I'm not embarrassed if I were to go viral for my content, I don't care because everybody that I love, they know what I do and they still love me. And I don't really care what people that I don't love and that don't love me think about me. And that's just period. So it's long term. I'm not trying to cancel out. Like in the future, I won't be like, oh, why did I do that? No, I'm standing on it. I've made way worse decisions in my life than selling feet content online. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. And no, I'll never regret it. I'll never feel bad for doing it. I won't. Does being a foot girl affect your relationship? When it comes to dating, I have always been honest with any man that I deal with about what I do. Be honest. I don't know. Some women say I've met women who say that's not a man's business if y'all are just meeting. You don't have to tell him. But me, I tell them up front because I just don't want a man that I'm dealing with to just find out at a later date and be feeling some type of way or have anything to be holding over my head like I lied or I didn't tell them. Some women don't feel like you have to tell them up front or ever, but I just don't agree with that personally. Like I'm gonna let you know and give you the option to deal with me whether you want to or not. And I will say, I've had situations where I was dating and dudes would say at first that they were okay with it, and in the long run, they were not okay with it. It takes a strong man to really love a woman that's doing what I do. It really does. It takes a strong man to accept her and not put her business, like, not make me into what I do to make money. It's crazy to like, cause I don't know, I'm doing it, but it takes a strong man to separate that and still be in a healthy and a loving relationship and not be jealous of all the other men and all the other stuff. Like it just takes a different type of man. And I mean, I'm not saying you a weak man if you don't want your woman being dealing with other men, because that's not what I'm saying at all. But it just takes a different type of man to be able to love and be with a woman despite the fact that she's doing that. So I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, you'll be in a happy relationship. No, it's hard. You got to find that person that just accepts you for you. And that's hard to find. So just want to be realistic. How do you balance a 9 to 5 and selling content? Y'all, this is still my friend. She got a lot of questions. How do you balance a 9 to 5 and selling content? I do my work during my shift. And like when I'm on lunch, I am able to do a few things if I need to, if it's an emergency, if I gotta do an order or something. After my shift, I take requests, I do orders. There's a turnaround time for like custom content. It's 2 days. You're not gonna make a purchase for a custom video and you think I'm gonna stop everything that I'm doing to make that video. No. I'll make it within the 2 day time frame when I have some downtime. I don't do video chat requests like during, you have to set business hours basically, and I just follow them. So during my 9 to 5, I'm just doing my 9 to 5. And after my 9 to 5, that's when I do my feet stuff. I can make videos pre made, like just me sit in front of the camera and do what I want to do in front of the camera, or I could fulfill someone's request, or I could do a real live video chat. I only work 8 hours a day, 9 hours including my lunch. There's 24 hours in a day. So some days I don't really do any feet stuff. Some days I don't get any requests. But on the days where I'm busy or I do get stuff, I just make time after my work schedule and in between whatever I have to do for my kids. So everybody has their own room. Everybody goes to their own corner of the house. My room is pretty big and I have it set up to where I can make content in different areas and not have the same background all the time. So that is how I maintain doing that. Does being in this industry mess with your mental stability? Yes, it does. Being a content creator messes with your mental period just because you deal with everybody's opinions about you and everybody's always forcing their opinions to you whether you ask for it or not. Usually you don't ask for it and they're still giving you your opinion. When it comes to selling feed content online, they're so mean when you're not giving them what they want. When you're setting boundaries for yourself that they don't want to follow, you become all types of bitches and hoes and everything under the sun. And even just on my lifestyle page where I don't even sell feed content, like where I'm just letting the girlies know how they can do it, so much hate in the comments. I get so much hate, and it really does. It makes me feel bad. Like, people call me ugly. They say my feet are ugly. People say I'm a hoe. People say my family should be embarrassed. People be saying prayers at me. Like, that gets to me. And I'll be talking, and people in my personal life, they will literally say, I'm tired of hearing you talk about these comments. Cause I be talking, like I be seeing what these people be saying. Sometimes I respond like, "Don't let me be going through it cold red, but my period about to be on, and my hormones are raging, and or I'm just upset about something else." Like, it definitely has an effect on my mental. So I do have to stop, pause sometimes, and think, what is a hater supposed to do? They supposed to hate. Let them people do their job. If nobody's hating on you, like, what are you really doing? I remember when I had 300 followers, nobody was hating in my comments, and I wasn't making no money. But over 20K on my feed pages, got 12K here on Instagram, or about 60K on Facebook. That's when all the hate comes. The more people you reach, the more money you start to make, the more problems. So it does affect with your mental. Oh, even the time wasters, like just constantly being approached by people who not trying to make a purchase, that is annoying. And then you feel like you talking to somebody, you going back and forth with them, you telling them what they need to do to make the purchase, and they don't even end up making a purchase. And then they come back and they ask you two and three and four more. That's annoying. That can get to, like, that can annoy you. So you really just have to have a strong mindset. You have to remember that this is just all part of the process. All of it is a part of it. The mean comments, the time wasters, it's all a part of the process in this business to making this money, period. So yeah, you just got to keep a strong mind. It does affect you. It does affect you. It will affect you, and it does affect me. Is it easier parenting a girl or a boy? A girl all day. I'm a woman. I was a girl once. I know how girls think. I be dead ass wrong when it comes to my son. I don't know. I remember I'm whooping my son, he's not even crying. What? My daughter, she's petrified of me. She's 4 years older than my son. She about big as me. My son's skinny and small, and the boy, he don't even cry when a man whoops him with a belt. That man, like, and he's a little 11-year-old skinny little pencil. But boys are just different. I don't understand. I'm not a man. I've never been a boy. I don't understand what it takes to raise a man. as a single mom, and I have measures in place to where my son has male guidance, and I make sure of that because I robbed him of that. I blame myself that he don't have that. So I replaced that for him. And before I had that replacement, it was hard and he was not listening or on the right track. And now that he has that replacement, yeah, I feel like for me as a woman, it's easier raising a girl because I was a girl and I am a woman and I know how to raise a woman. I don't know how to raise a man. I don't, I just don't. So that's my answer to that. How many hours a day do you dedicate to selling foot content? There's no specific amount, and I wouldn't even say hours, honey. Even today, I have to make and post a video. I'm going to sit for 5 minutes and make the video. At this point, I've been doing it for 5 years. I could literally talk 5 minutes straight and say what I want to say on a video, and it'll take me 10 minutes tops if I'm like messing up or have to redo stuff just to make the video. Then it'll probably take me another 15 minutes tops to edit the video and 5 minutes to post it on my website, maybe 10 minutes to post it on my websites. So that's less than 1 hour and I'm done. Now I do post at least, I try to post 3 times a day on my social media. So I mean it takes about 5 minutes to post. If I'm getting requests, it just all depends on the day. I don't dedicate a specific amount of time. I just do the work as it comes in. And my daily work, it only takes me 2 hours max. It's not even gonna take me 2 hours. And I don't do it every day. I only post on certain days. So I don't have to dedicate every single day. And then there's a day where I'll probably sit and upload videos for my subscription sites for the month. Like schedule it out. Some days I'm not doing no feet stuff. I'm just not. I'm not doing it all day, every day. It's not like that for me. Do you set boundaries as far as time slots you allow yourself to be available to the foot world? Yes, I do. Outside of my kids' activities and outside of my 9 to 5 shift, yeah, you can hit me up and I'll probably take your request. I miss requests because I be with family. If I'm with my family, it just depends on what we doing because I have taken calls at my family's house. Like they don't care. But if we like having family time, we in the middle of watching a movie together or something, like if I can't just run away to the bathroom and do it real quick, I won't. If you hit me up and ask if I'm available, I let you know if I'm available or not, and that's how we proceed. What advice do you have for the single mamas or the co-parenting girlies? Just don't depend on the other parent. It's nice if they help, accept the help, and if they want to see their kids, allow them to see and help with the kids. Like but not to a point where it's stressing you out or it's taken from your productivity as a parent. So for example, if my kid's dad is doing what they need to do, being respectful, like okay, so look, for example, I will not stop my child from seeing their father because their father is not financially helping me. I will stop my child from seeing their father if their father is disrespecting me, if their father is um, not parenting my child in the right way when my child is around them. I am the custodial parent. Neither one of my kids' fathers have any rights to my kids. They just have not gotten them. 15 and 11 years later, they just have not, and I have all the rights. So if my child is coming back and I'm just not hearing good things about when they're spending time with you, they're not going there and you can take me to court to get your visitation. That's just how I feel. If you're disrespecting me in any kind of way, they're not going to see you. You're not seeing them. I don't care. I don't care what nobody has to say with that about that. I don't care what nobody has to feel about that. Get yourself legitimized. We were not married when we had these kids. These kids are with me every single day. And honestly, my kids' father do not have a set schedule. Is when you want to see them, you pick them up unless you're being disrespectful, then you just can't see them at all until I decide. And I'm like I'll be like, "Oh, you can't see them for this amount of time," but then we make up, we become friends again. But once you just disrespect me so many times, it depending on the level of disrespect and what all happens and who's all included, yeah, you only have maybe like 3 strikes and you're out, bud. Take me to court. I don't know. I just feel like for single mamas, we got a lot on our plate. We should not be allowing our children's fathers to stress us out in a way where it's making it harder for us to take care of our kids. Now, I understand financially, some men just don't have it, whatever, you're just poor. But I'm at a point in my life where I don't depend on money. It's just extra and I appreciate it. But I'm not going to stop you from associating or seeing your kids just solely based on you not paying, because I don't need your money. But when it comes to the disrespect, not following boundaries, yeah, you're not going to see my child. Sorry, I don't care. Go get your rights. And that's what I have. Like, girl, you are the boss. Especially if they don't have no rights and they're not doing what they're supposed to do. You need to do what works for you so that you can be in the best mind state to take care of your kids. Because I'm not going to be laying around depressed, not want to do nothing for my kids. Okay. Would you have more kids? Yes, I would. I kind of have baby fever. Sometimes I want more. Sometimes I don't, because my kids are at a stage in their life where it's hard to parent them because they have their own minds. I do not want to parent another kid through this stage. So that's what's stopping me. I don't want to have to teach a boy like don't be in the streets, or have to teach a girl respect yourself, love yourself. I don't know. It's just annoying. Or why you got an attitude. I don't know. I'm kind of torn on that. I do be seeing babies like, oh, baby's so cute. I want a little baby, but once they're not babies anymore, it's not fun. So I don't really know. I would have to be married for me to birth another child though. My love language. She asked, what is your love language? My love language is quality time. I want to be up under you all the time. That's my number one love language. I want to spend time with my man. I like gifts, acts of service, stuff like that. Quality time. Spend some time with me. That's my number one. Is your ideal husband a 50-50 man? No, he's not. I don't want to pay any bills. I'm not saying I don't want to have any income and I don't want to make any money and I don't want to contribute to the household, because I do want to have certain things that I'm responsible for. Like, I feel like if my man is paying all the bills, I'm taking the family on vacation, I'm buying the fly clothes. Like, yeah, that's what we finna be looking good. We finna be, out to eat. Like, if my man pays all the bills, I just feel like a man should pay all the bills. And I'm just a hardworking woman, so I could never be married to somebody who's telling me I'm not working. I'm gonna have a business or something. I'm working. But no, I don't want to. I don't feel like I should have to pay no bills unless my man needs me to pay the bills because he's hurt. He fell on hard times, and I have to step up. I will step up, and I'll pay all the bills until he get himself together. But essentially, I think it's a man's job to lead the household and to pay all that. And if I have to do 50-50, I would just prefer to live by myself because I can do 100-100. If you could change one thing from the past, what would it be? That's hard. I would change a lot from my past. I would think that I would change a lot, but now, like, just knowing how my past has molded me into what I am now, I don't think I would change anything. Um, Maybe I would change the path that I chose. Maybe I would have went and finished my education instead of having a baby first. But I honestly feel like if I do that, then I wouldn't have my Caden and my King, and I wouldn't want it any other way. So I don't. Maybe I would have chose better baby daddies, but again, if I choose different baby daddies, it wouldn't be my Caden and my King. So that's a hard question. If I could change my past and still have the same kids that I have right now, I would change my baby daddies, and I would honestly go to school and try to go that path before having kids, because honestly I skipped that. I don't know if I could have ever been successful doing the traditional and the right thing. I don't know. But I'm a Toho and I love it. So would I like to have come into my money another kind of way, a more acceptable kind of way or traditional kind of way? Maybe. Maybe. But maybe I wouldn't be making what I'm making now. So I don't know. I don't know. That's a hard question. I don't even have an answer for that question really, because I just gave like two different answers. I don't know. That's hard. That's it for her questions. And another one of my friends asked some questions. Let's find her. Okay, so my other friend that I hold near and dear to my heart, I want to read her questions. If I'm a shy female, do you feel like feet content is for me? I was a shy female. When I first started, I said, I'm not showing my face. And look at me now. So you can still do it, friend. If you're willing to come outside of the box, if you're willing to try to get rid of and shed that shyness, yes. But if you're so scared and shy to the point where you just can't interact with people you don't know randomly, because obviously a video call, you're gonna have to get on there, you're gonna have to just start spitting and talking, and just not spitting but just talking and saying your stuff. You're gonna have to start doing that. So you can't be shy when it's time for a video call. That's funny. But if you're willing to come outside of that, you can do it. How long did it take for you to become a pro? I'm not a pro. I know girls that's so much better than me, edit way better, make so much more money than me. But I will say, like, I'm getting there. I'm getting to that status. I've been doing it for 5 years. I would say I'm pretty good, and it took, I say, 2 years for me to get like the gist of it. For me to be like, oh, this is what I need to do to make money, and this is what I need to implement. And then I started implementing, and that's when the money started coming in. So 2 years. 2 years, that's when it was like starting to really click for me. What made you write your ebook? That's a good question to follow up with, because it took me 2 years, bro. Like, man, when I tell y'all, I was out here buying people's little. It wasn't ebooks. I never seen nobody with an ebook how to sell feed content, and that's what made me write one. But I was purchasing mentorship courses, Zoom calls where ladies who have been doing it for years was just on there talking about what they do. I invested so much. I invested so much. I've bought so many things that just gave me a little bit of knowledge here, gave me a little bit of knowledge there, and it just helped me grow. And I'm just like, damn, I've subscribed to people's OnlyFans. I've subscribed, okay, to girls just to see what are you posting, how are you posting this. I did so much to try to get the knowledge that I have right now. And that's really what made me like write this ebook, because I'm like, I know girls out there want to know. Girls want to know how to do this, and they don't want to have to take 2 years to find out. And that's just what the ebook is: 17 pages, 2 years of everything that it took me to find out, to say, oh, this is how I get pushed my audience. This is how I grow my audience. This is how my content gets pushed out more. This is how I make more money. This is how I gotta talk to this person who makes this type of request. And this is how I gotta talk to that person who makes that type of request. 2 years. And that's what made me write that ebook, is because I'm like, if I could put this all in one place, it's gonna sell like hotcakes. And like, I just have a business mind, and look at me now. Do you have mentees? No, I don't have any mentees. I've been told I need to get mentees just so I can say, hey, this is someone who I helped. Women who want me to teach them, they may have different learning styles. I may not, know how to deal with that learn. I don't know if I'm really that good of a teacher. So I would have to dibble and dabble in that to see. Is it anyone you look up to in this industry? Yes. I did a recent post where this really big foot model basically heard about my ebook, and she was giving her opinion on it. And definitely when I started out in the community, she was one of the first people that I saw, and I really was inspired by her. And I do look up to her because she don't have to do much of nothing, and that girl, the money just flows to her. I work hard for what I do. Like, and I'm not saying she don't work hard at all, but she's worked so hard, and she's been in the game doing her thing for all this time. It just comes effortlessly to her. She could lose her page right now and be at like 10K in a week, because that's just, everybody knows who she is. It's rarely a time where I'm talking to somebody who knows stuff about this and I mention her name and they don't know her. So I do look up to her. She's like goated. Like, I aspire to be like her one day. And the funniest thing is, she's skinny, dark skinned black woman just like me. No BBL, we ain't, mixed. We just regular women. We're just regular, natural, beautiful women. And I just love to see it. I love to see us thrive and flourish in a community like this, because I will say, like, light skinned is, people just like light, like fair skin. People just like that. So it's hard to come up when you dark skin in any type of community. It really is. Any type of anything you're trying to pursue, when you're just a dark skinned person, you got to work that much harder. So she really inspires me to keep going. She gives me hope and faith. Like she did it, and it's just like it's not unreachable if you really work hard. So her name is Kelly. That's who I look up to in this community. Was it hard when you started creating content? Yes. When I started, I had a page for like, when I decided, oh, I'm gonna make me a foot page, I had that page for like 3 months with 7 followers. I swear, I was not getting no money. I didn't make no sales. I didn't. Nobody was following me. Nobody was liking my stuff. Nobody was doing nothing. Okay, so it definitely was hard at first. It started off slow, just over time when I started researching and learning how to become successful, and I started getting help from other people, investing in myself, like taking classes and buying courses and stuff like that. It just it got easier. So, obviously you're going to get better at something if you just keep doing it, and 5 years later, I'm a pro. Yay. But that was the last question. That was actually very fun, and I might like open up to do another Q&A. I think it might be better for me to do stuff like this than to show, I don't know, cuz terms and conditions. Like, I'm literally shadow banned on Facebook right now. I've had like a decrease in ebook sales because my content is not being pushed out. I have to reevaluate how I'm doing everything. I don't know what I'm going to do. Hopefully I figure it out, but I appreciate everybody so much for your support. Please stay tuned. There's going to be a new ebook coming out in the next few weeks, probably in the next week. Like February, I wanted to drop it in February, but I got to do a cover and it's already outlined. I just have to write it. And after I do that one, I have a lot of people asking me for regular lifestyle content. So I'm going to do an ebook on how I went viral, what I did, what strategies I used to go viral, just with my regular lifestyle content outside of feet content. But I do appreciate y'all so much for asking the questions, for watching the video. I don't know when I'm going to do another Q&A, but let me post this one first, see how it does, and stay tuned. Okay. Bye, mamas.